Greetings, fam. So, as some of you are aware, I finally gave in after many, many years of being anti-television, and I bought a TV. And I'm still very, very cognizant of what I watch on this TV because I really don't believe in watching television. I feel it's a form of brainwashing. But what I do enjoy, and as I had told you in the past, is I enjoy certain movies, and I also enjoy some Christian programs. And I also have been becoming a fan of certain, I like anything that deals with reality. So I've been watching the, um, the investigative channels. And on one of them, they do this series called Web of Lies. And it shows you true stories of people who have got caught up in some real craziness on the web. And so, for those who don't watch it, I thought I'd put together this little video on web safety because I'm really concerned about the people who follow me and just in general, the young people and even some of the old people who go to the web looking for romance, looking for friendship. And so I just want to talk about those things from a spiritual point of view. And I also just want to show those of you who don't know how to really use caution. So that's what today's video is about. Oh, and for those of you who are looking at my hair, no, I didn't straighten it. I am still very natural. But what I did do is I wet it, I put a little oil on it, I pulled it up tight in this little bun thing, and I did bump the bangs with a what do you call it? The bumper, I guess. The curler, the electric curler. I did do that because sometimes we need to change up a little bit. So I hope you like it, and if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. I like it. So, all right. God bless you. Stay tuned for the video because this one it's going to be really interesting. I just couldn't believe how people got caught out there, but they do, and it was good for me too. Although I don't really well, I'll share a few of my instances with you of some things that almost caught me out there. Okay, God bless. Cyberbullying is the use of the internet and related technologies to harm or harass other people in a deliberate, repeated, and hostile manner. Now, and that's the end of that quote. But as it has become more common in society, particularly among you young people, legislation and awareness campaigns have risen up to combat it. But they're not able to combat it fully. And these people who are behind the cyberbullying, most of them are what we would call trolls. They're people that just, live and thrive off hurting others. But there are also cyberbullies who can pose as their victims and send out harassing messages to others. There are people who will go on your Facebook page and copy your photos and then create a profile pretending to be you. And in a lot of cases, they will friend your friends. There have been messages that I have even gotten from people who said, oh, Facebook closed my page down. This is my new page. Friend me again so we can stay in touch. And the person they're pretending to be is actually not who they are. In some cases, they will post up humiliating videos of kids that they don't like. And it's not only done to kids. There are adults who are bullied. But mostly it's kids, and there's sites like World Star Hip Hop, which promote this behavior by posting videos of kids who have gotten beaten up, and then they send the videos, they put it online so that they can show themselves acting out and jumping a person. There have also been videos where teens have been raped, and the video was posted online, gang rapes and all sorts of things. And this is for a young developing mind, a lot of times they can't take this. I recall off the top of my head these cases like Amanda Todd and Megan Meyer. They killed themselves over cyberbullying. They just couldn't take it. And I'm not saying that your kid in particular will do that, or you will do that, but sometimes it can become a bit much. The other thing that's very disturbing is that there are sexual predators online who particularly target children, and the way they hunt down their prey is they hunt for sex partners. They are people who commit sex crimes such as rape or child sexual abuse. There are thousands upon thousands of registered sex offenders out there, and not all of them are being monitored. And they get online and they know how to talk like the kids talk, and they lure them in only to, in some cases, even kill them. And aside from just doing the sexual abuse, the internet opens the doors for young people who have not stepped up their skills of discernment to the point where they can actually know what to say and what not to say and how to read people. So they're very trusting and they interact with virtual strangers, where in real life, most of these people, if they saw them in person, they'd run across the street to avoid them. And sexual predators, they have targeted children in chat rooms. They migrate to wherever the young people are, and they're scouring these social networking sites. Some of the sites, just off the top, are KIK, Messenger, Instagram, Facebook, Skype, Uvu, Snapchat, Ask FM, and they go on and on and on. So you have to ask yourself, well, what is the remedy to this? How can I keep my kids out of danger, and how can you keep yourself out of danger? Because many of you go online looking for love. I'm going to tell you before this video is over. I'm going to tell you how. Pornography is the explicit portrayal of sexual subject matter for the purpose of sexual arousal. And one of the worst dangers with the internet, and again, this is in terms of young people, but it could be anyone, is that the pornography can pop up while the child is on the internet. And the parents may not even realize that in some cases kids are going online and seeking out web porn. And the thing about this is most of those sites, all they do is ask you, are you 18 or over? They have no way of verifying that you are. So if you click yes, you're in. The other thing is gambling online, and this is, a lot of you older people do this as well. It's the wagering of money or something of material value on an event with an uncertain outcome and the primary intent of winning additional money. So a lot of these gambling sites, they're rigged. I would say if you're gambling online, then you might as well open up your window and throw your money out, because you're not going to win. And there are so many gambling sites on the internet that anyone with a credit card can enter and gamble, which includes your kid. They could take your credit card and be gambling online. And next thing you know, there's this big debit on your card and you don't remember doing it. And you're like, I wasn't on resorts.com or whatever it is, gambling. So you have to check your credit card payments each month to make sure that no unusual activity is occurring. What is a social networking site? Social networking sites are virtual communities. The kids go on these sites basically to chat, instant messenger, post pictures, or to just blog, keep a journal. The appeal for most young people is that it provides an instant community. It also provides a certain amount of degree of celebrity, and it encompasses many of the online tools and entertainment activities that teens know and love. And speaking of that, also, a lot of these games, these online games, they're free up until a certain point. Then I remember I used to play Candy Crush, and once you get to a certain level, then they ask you to buy more moves, or I forget, because I haven't done it in a while and I don't intend to ever do it again. But you wind up paying to play the game. So that is a form of gambling, in that if you want to play, you have to pay. And it sucks money off your card. And even though it's only like $1 or $1.99, whatever the case may be, it adds up. if you're doing this 10, 15 times a day, and there's some people who play games, they get addicted and they play all day. Okay. In the online world, social networking sites have become predominant as a forum for kids to present themselves, seek approval, and describe their interests. One of the defining features of most social networking pages is the visual and audio, and the sites actually look like an over decorated high school yearbook or scrapbook, and the teens use these pages as a place to feature everything in their life and in their heart and in their head. They want people to know about them. The most appealing, I guess, feature of the site is the ability to connect with people and share information. A child's online reputation is growing concern on these different online networking and social networking sites. And with the advent of camera phones, digital cameras, and webcams, a lot of kids become victims of their own inexperience with the new technology. So, where am I going with all this? I'm saying that, first of all, you shouldn't be online looking for approval, because anyone can say anything to you. It doesn't mean that it's the truth. The internet is indeed a web of lies. You've got people on there that will stroke you and tell you anything you want to hear just so that they can attempt to meet you. It's just like when I was younger, and even still now, they still have it. There were these phone chat lines where you could call and talk to people. And some people, they had the voice protocol down pat. They would sound so fine. I did oh my goodness, this is so crazy. But this reminds me of back in the day, there was this DJ on the radio called Mike Love. And I thought he had this sexiest voice. And I did a little rap called My Favorite DJ. And I don't know if I could remember the whole thing, but a part of it said, with a voice so divine, I know he gotta be fine. And when they played it, the people in the background, his other fellow DJs, were like, not. And it was so funny because when I finally got to meet him, he wasn't what you would consider fine. Although I liked his look, but he was a brother who wore thick glasses, and at that time that wasn't considered attractive, these thick glasses. But I happened to think he looked nice. The point of the matter is that just because a person sounds like they're going to be hot, I guess is the term that you use now, doesn't mean that. And then not only that, you have to also remember that a lot of hot looking people doesn't mean that their mind is right. There have been mass murderers who were what you would consider attractive, and that's how they were able to lure their victims in, because they looked like the kind of person that you might want to be with, but their minds wasn't right. And this is why the Bible clearly says man looks at the outer appearance, but God looks at the heart. And I'm going to find that scripture for you, as a matter of fact, because I want you to know and to really to read it and follow up on it, because it's a fact that people use what they got to get what they want. And I've even known some young ladies like that who it's in 1 Samuel, by the way, 1 Samuel 16:7. It talks about how the Lord rejected this person, and that he does not look at things the way we look at things. And he clearly says in that scripture, 1 Samuel 16:7, that only man, we look at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. So be careful when you're online and you're looking at pictures of people, because, and that's the other thing too. I cannot tell you how many people put up fake pictures. And in the show that I was looking at, there were also people who would post a profile picture that was not them. And there was a show also called Catfish, which I think I looked at once or twice years ago when I was living with my niece. And it showed you how these people, when they actually met, were not the people in the profile pic. So don't always get gaga or crazy over a picture, because it's, chances are it's not even the person. But bigger than that is that you want to be careful with meeting people. I cannot tell you how many people have requested meeting me. And scarier than that, I have been out in public and there have been people who have approached me and knew me and said, "Hey, Holly Hood." And, you know, I always was very cautious. I looked at how they were coming at me. I looked to see if they had anything in their hand to maybe hurt me. You know, I was pretty cautious because you don't know. I don't know you. You don't know me. You just know that I'm on this internet and I'm spouting off things, but you don't know my state of mind. Maybe I'm crazy and I do this because I'm crazy, and some crazy people are very intelligent. That's why they don't get caught for years and years and years. So you must use caution when you're dealing with people from the internet. My advice is never meet them. I had one guy on Facebook, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be in New York, such and such and such, and I'd love to meet you." Not! And it's not because I'm antisocial. I actually am very social. But I would prefer not to meet people off the internet. Now, if I happen to bump into you, in one case, this girl ran up to me in the supermarket. She's like, "Oh, Hollywood." And before I could, you know, I'm crippled, so I'm on a cane. So I only have one hand that I can use. And because the muscular dystrophy is also in that hand, it's kind of hard. I have to use that hand to balance. So when she hugged me, I couldn't break loose. But I realized it was love. So I calmed down, and thank God I have a discerning spirit. And so my spirit told me, okay, she just wants to show love. And so I hugged her back with the one hand that I had available. And it was pleasant and it was brief, and I was able to finish my shopping. But it shocked me, you know, and so I wasn't ready for it. But those are the kind of things that are out of your control. But think about the things that are in your control. And when you think about the things you are in your control, then you want to use discernment. The other thing is that I know that a lot of people think, "Oh, I want to send this person pictures so that they will want to meet me." If someone asks you to send nude pictures, it's probably not someone that you would want to meet. First of all, in my generation, we used to say, "Who buys the cow when they can get the milk free?" And I would say if you haven't even met this person and already you're posing and displaying all your little naughty bits, then you've already went from A to Z on the internet. They don't need to meet you. They've seen everything. They can just use the picture, and I mean, God forbid, but that's, you know, that's not the way to establish a caring and loving relationship. This person is not looking for love. They're looking for sex. And you've just given it to them. It doesn't matter how you give it to them. You don't have to be in person to give it to them. If you send them the picture, they've got it. They know what you look like inside and out. They can move on to the next person. Or if they do meet you, it's because now they want to sample the goods. Is that what you want? You want to be everyone's appetizer? Because no one's going to make you the main course if you continue to put yourself out there as an appetizer. You're just going to go from person to person to person, and I don't think that's the kind of life you want. All right, so what can you do? Well, can technology help? Yes, thank God. Technology can play a key role in protecting your kids and yourself. from dangers that you may face on the internet. There's a company called Global Aware Technologies, and they have something called the Shield Genie. And it's a software that allows parents to monitor, block, and be alerted on what their children are doing online. And I would suggest that you get it or some other comparable product. I also see lately they've been advertising. There are some good things about TV because some of the advertisements are actually things that can enhance your life. And one of the things that I saw that I would greatly recommend to people who use the internet for whatever reason that they need to feel that they need to meet people, it's called Verify. And I'm not sure if I have the whole name correct, but I believe it's verify.com. And if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. But it actually lets you put in a person's name and you can pretty much find out everything about them. You can also do that on certain criminal search sites where you can find out, the person's, if they've been arrested, if they're a child predator, or all sorts of things. So there are ways you can check people out. I can tell you, I've heard horror stories about some of those dating sites. I even heard a story about a woman who was actually attacked by someone from ChristianDating.com. So these people, these demons, they have no shame. How could you go on a Christian site and be a rapist? But I guess they figured, well, they won't expect me to be on here. And that's true. So don't even go by the name of the site to judge the quality of people that you're going to get off the site. Can I tell you how many broke people are on richman.com? Come on, or sugardaddy.com? People go on there because they know who's going to be looking. So they're going to present themselves as being exactly what you look like, what you are looking for, so that they can reel you in. When you want to get a certain type of fish, you've got to have a certain type of bait. So the predators out there and the wicked people out there, they're going to set their bait for the fish they want to catch. And once they reel you in, who's to say what their motive is? Some of you lonely hearts out there, you're looking, some of you women in my age group and maybe a little younger, you're at a point in life where you've been without a man for years, and so you want to meet a new man, and you go on these sites, and you may even have a little bit of money. Well, guess what? Some of those men out there on those sites are looking for you. They want a woman with money so that they can part you with your money. One of my favorite sayings is, when a person with experience meets a person with money, the person with experience walks away with the money, and the person with the money walks away with the experience. So be careful of these men who come at you with all these sob stories. Oh, I want to meet you, but I... Okay, so, I think I pretty much exhausted this. And I just want to say to you, be careful. Be careful on the internet. Be careful even in the real world. Again, having attractive looks doesn't make the person a good person. What makes a person a good person is being a good person. And even that, you have to get to know someone. And even after knowing people for a very long time, you still may not have it right. Because some people, it takes them a minute to reveal their true colors. And I know that for a fact. So I'm going to wind this up like I always do with a prayer. Lord, there's so many lonely people out there. There's so many people who thrive and live for entertainment. They become addicted to the internet. They spend hours a day looking, seeking amusement, seeking something to break them out of the doldrums of their lives. There's so many young people who are now just waking up to the wonders of the internet, and they're exploring and they're jumping in and out of things that they have no knowledge about, that their young minds are not ready to even deal with. And then you have the predators, the people who are using this wonderful device for wickedness, as we have done with so many things that you have blessed us to be able to create. We turn it from something good into something wicked, Lord. And I'm asking you in Jesus' mighty name to, one, give the young people discernment, to give the parents the the wherewithal to install things that will help them to see what their children are doing online, to better monitor their children's activities, to not allow the computer to become a babysitter and to leave the children unattended online and getting into all types of mayhem. Lord, I ask you to help the young people, those lonely people out there who are seeking love on the internet, to seek you first, and that other things will then be given unto them, and to not fall victim to these different sites that promise that they're going to find marriage. And no one can promise that, Lord. Help them to wake up and realize that this is not the way that they should be seeking a mate, that they should wait upon you, Lord, to send that person, that right person for them. Also, Lord, I pray for the predators, that they will realize the wickedness of their ways and seek help. I pray that the courts and the system will not release these people back onto the public without supervision, without continued psychological help, because some of them don't even know they're sick. They think they're normal. There are even clubs, Lord, that these people form with other sick individuals for the sole purpose of engaging in this wickedness. And so I ask you to help them to be revealed, and to help the police to find them, and before they can do more harm, and to help the young people to know not to go off to meet these strangers. And so many young people get caught up in prostitution by falling victim to a lot of these predators who advertise online, or they go and they befriend people and invite them to different towns for the wicked purposes and intent. And I hope and pray, Lord, that you will just protect the young people, protect the foolish among us who know not what they enter into, Lord. And as always, I thank you for the subscribers. I thank you, Lord, for everything in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.